There's going to be a divider for the podcast. All we could be able to see is
They're going to take their segments.
You tell him that I said. How's it going? And welcome to the Caffeinated Coordinators Podcast, Episode 6, and the first one of the new year. They did not cancel us yet. I am your boy, Scott Pellegrin, Coach Pell, and joining me, as always, from the other side of the ball, he is the king of the call sheet, the quarterback guru. His New Year's resolution is to make sure he always has the marker last. Coach G, Tyler Gaspard.
Good morning, Happy New Year, and first of all, happy birthday to my dad, old Pops. Today is his day, so we get to see him tonight. Excited about that.
Happy birthday, Papa Gaspard, and our producer. He is the freshman football jack of all trades, the godfather of EA TV, our resident Cowboys fan, but we love him anyway, Eric Brownfield.
Yep. Let's. What is that? What does Dak say? Let's. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna win the. Yeah,
I hope Dak doesn't say it like that.
Somebody's on upset alert. And our second special guest of our podcast today, joining us. He is the inflator of the run-through tunnel, the pep rally MC, the yell leader manager. He teaches a leap class and is teacher of the year. My man, the distraction coordinator, Dirk Schexnaydre.
You're looking live. I cut my hair for today too, as well. So I hope y'all appreciate it. I did do it. I did give myself a haircut last night, so I hope everyone appreciates that. And no coffee today, Coca-Cola.
Love it. So I'm debuting a new blend for today. It is Mardi Gras season, and Mardi Gras is my favorite holiday. Mardi Gras on the 4th of July, actually, but community doesn't make 4th of July blend, so we are drinking the King Cake blend of community coffee, a little hint of cinnamon and vanilla, just in time for carnival season. I am pumped.
So Coach Pell has a thing where anytime he goes to a ball or anything, it's like, Endymion 2023. I need you to do a caffeinated coordinators one to start off the year.
Caffeinated Coordinators 2024.
There we go. Now the year has officially started.
It's because I TikTok my entire day from start to finish, and I just keep repeating the event and the year, and it gets a little comical if I say so myself.
Yes. Especially as the day goes on.
So, like, if you're going to the dentist.
No. Unless I go to the dentist on parade day, which let's hope that doesn't happen, then I would do that. So, Gaspard, start us off, man. Talk about our topic, our format for the day, and just get us cranked up, man. First one of the new year.
Yeah. So we kind of figured how can we start this new year. We talked a lot about ball at the beginning when we started. Well, let's get really behind the scenes today. We got Dirk with us. And Dirk is our distractions coordinator. So this episode is going to be distractions with Dirk.
Distractions?
We'll get a recap of 2023 personal wise, and then caffeinated coordinators. Then we'll have a game. The distractions, we'll talk about our favorite distractions, and then we'll talk about what that looks like on our end as coaches versus like Dirk's end. Coordinating it all, and then how can we work together?
Dealing with people like him.
Yeah.
I had to find a way to get on the podcast, and no one, I am the first non-football person.
That's right.
On the caffeinated.
Yes.
I mean, Ward sits in the seat. He looks like football. He talks like football. So I was like, how can I get myself in there? And is the only wheelhouse I could talk about. So
Oh, that's freaking awesome. So let's just get cranked up with the recap of 2023 here. Geez, recap of your personal year. I know we started the podcast. let's kind of take a second and
while I work on a distraction here.
Yeah.
It's a perfect episode to have.
Y'all carry on.
We're having
when in doubt, just unplug it, plug it back in.
That's right.
A bit of a technical difficulty, but talk to us about your 2023.
Man, it was a crazy year, but a lot of learning happened for me. 2023 started with the baseball season. Obviously, I'm a baseball coach as well. That was up and down. And then we go into the summer. My daughter turned 1. Took her out of daycare for the summer, spent some time with her. And then, obviously, offense coordinator. That was my first hoorah with it. I enjoyed it. I learned as I was going. First football season came around. Wasn't as successful as we hoped to be, but I think there was a lot of learning going on throughout that season. So, 2024, let's not be any worse.
well, 2023, largely, I don't want to say uninteresting for me, but like you said, the football season was disappointing. I was in my 12th year of coaching, had my first wedding anniversary, which was really awesome. We took a trip to the Dominican Republic.
We went to the Keys.
That's right. We went to the Keys, me and you, with our wives. I turned 32, so every year I'm just climbing them 30s until I feel old as crap.
Next year's a big year. It's your Jesus year. 33.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Be ready for that.
My golden birthday was last in 2023.
But-
I'll never catch y'all, by the way.
No.
Well, there's one way to catch us.
And let's hope that's far, far away.
I meant I thought we were going to go run outside. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Gaspard was a college athlete. But no, man.
I went to college.
I did some curls in other ways. We started the podcast, man. That was kind of always a little goal for me to be a part of a podcast. I always thought it was cool. So when like the three of us, me, you, and Brownfield, kind of had this brainchild. It was probably the highlight of the year was starting this thing. And I'm not just saying that because we're on the air, but that's pretty cool, and I'm happy that we're doing it. Brownfield, about your 2023, man.
Oh man, let's see, 2023. When was that? That was last year.
About 12 days
Yeah,
ago.
when you're as old as I am, and just the years, just they all mixed together, including the one that just finished 12 days ago, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting year. With EATV, it's been something I've been wanting to do for years, and to finally get a chance to actually do it and not just think it. It was is really cool. So we're looking to do a lot more in the spring and then next year. So. That was probably the highlight of 2023 is actually getting this kind of thing going.
It's unbelievable too. EATV is awesome.
Yeah, it's been exciting.
Yeah, I mean it's easy. It's easy because all the creativity and all the energy and all that has always been there. It's just a matter of just finding the medium to get it out there. So that's the easy part, really. We have a lot of the hard stuff already done here at EA. It's just the easy stuff, let's just show it to people.
And there's a lot of creative people around here. I know when you first kind of got the equipment, you were testing it out on trivia games with teachers and some of that
That was
stuff
fun.
before you started off the news show with the kids, which that's even more awesome because they're super creative and they're hilarious to watch. So EATV, man, that's on the good list, even though we're not there yet.
Shout out to the Thanksgiving sides episode. That was their, I think, top moment for EATV in 2023.
I would say that was a favorite for me as well.
That was a great segment. Dirk, I know I'm going to bury the lead here, but New Year's is kind of your thing. So
it is. It's my favorite holiday by far.
Recap your last year.
All right, so I didn't take my daughter out of daycare, and I didn't have my first anniversary. So I'm going to reflect on my sports year because that is my hobby. I don't fish, I don't hunt, I don't golf. So when I was thinking, I had a pretty good traveling with the sports teams last year. So I made a list to make sure I didn't forget anything. Started the year at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl with Ched Z, which the Pop-Tart Bowl has gotten a lot of run this year, and deservedly so. But last year, I feel like Cheez-It with Prince Chedward, was it, Coach?
Yes, Prince Chedward.
At the Cheez-It Bowl, and Ched Z, who came out of a box at the Citrus Bowl last year, kind of raised the bar that the Pop-Tart Bowl has surpassed. Started the year at the in Orlando against Purdue. That was a destruction by LSU. From there, drove to Kentucky and saw LSU basketball play at Rupp Arena, a place I've always wanted to go, which was
legendary.
They were very much they wanted to fire their coach mode, so I didn't get the full Rupp feeling, the full Rupp effect. Biggest disappointment from Rupp Arena, the concessions. I thought Kentucky, the granddaddy of them all, would have all this cool stuff. EA nachos were better than what you got over there. Follow that up. Baseball season, got to see two games at Swayze Field at Ole Miss. Got to see 2 games at Plainsman. LSU won both of them. Got to see 2 games at Plainsman Park at Auburn. The night they let the War Eagle fly down. Went to Omaha, saw LSU win the College World Series.
That's awesome.
Was in Coach, get the button ready. Get the button.
Yeah.
Florida State in Orlando. Womp.
That's more appropriate for that one.
And then went to Tampa and saw my first NFL game in another stadium, not the Superdome or Tiger Stadium, because I saw the Saints in Tiger Stadium. Hit a button again for that. Saw the Saints there, and then LSU.
There is no button for that.
For the Saints game in
I
Tiger
don't have a button. Yeah.
Unplug all this stuff.
In the podcast.
We'll get my brother to call in because he was there with you.
Yeah. And then the thing I got maybe my favorite sporting event of the year that I had to miss this year was the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, but I missed it for a really good reason. I got to go to Europe for the first time, which was outstanding. Perfect weather. The group was outstanding. I saw so many things. So if I never get to go back to Europe again, I hit a lot of the places I wanted to see if it's you kind of get to go only one time.
Poor bank account.
Yeah. Gee. When you see me driving a bus, you know why.
The elementary bus.
Man, I think we had all ours, but you had the most eventful.
Yeah,
yours was the most
Something's
eventful.
always happening.
Yes.
Something's always happening.
Which brings us to our New Year's resolutions. That's going to be the game of the day. We'll go around and tell our New Year's resolutions. It's time to play the game. All right, so how about let's let Dirk go first as far as I guess.
All right.
Give you the honors.
So I am a big like New Year's. New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday, so I do believe in New Year's resolutions. So I have kind of 2 this year. Yesterday I shared one of them at the faculty meeting as I was presenting about being better with credit cards, and paid one off last year. I'm going to pay the other. The Omaha one's getting paid off this year. What if they go back? Though? I keep thinking, what if they go back? What if they go back? I don't know. 2025 will be my year.
We're just going to punt 2024 away in January.
It all depends on LSU baseball. So my second one, and I actually had a moment with it this morning. My second one was, I'm not a breakfast person. I'm not hungry when I first wake up, but I know it's good for you to eat, in the morning. And if I don't eat in the morning, then I'm really hungry by 10 o'clock. So I was like, even if it's just a piece of toast or something like that, I got to eat something. So this morning, I'm going to do an Eggo waffle, right?
Oh.
Classic. Yes. So I put it in the toaster. I'm like, okay, it's going to take a minute or so to heat up. So I'll go and get my clothes out, and I hear it pop. So then I go and I'm going to go eat my waffle. And I go, and it's not there.
What?
It's not there. I have paranormal activity. I don't know what's happening. So I'm looking. I'm gonna enter my toaster. Maybe can throw shot put for EA. It has jumped out of the toaster, and it is between my refrigerator and the cabinet. It shot out. Maybe you can play center field for EA.
Did you
get the ball in?
Did you still eat it?
No, I had to get my broom to move it out. Of course, there's some dust bunnies down there. I moved the toaster over, and we retoasted. So yeah, that's what I get for trying to eat and be healthy.
Oh, so I'm kind of the opposite of you. I'm really not a New Year's person. I enjoy celebrating the holiday, but I'm really not. I don't do New Year's resolutions, and I don't really do that type of thing. It's part of my cynicism. I'm also the guy that doesn't believe in luck or chance and that sort of thing.
Even though it hits him in the face sometimes.
Yeah.
Square in the face. But I did make a bit of a resolution this year. I told myself I was gonna pray more frequently. Okay, because I don't really, me and my wife go to church sometimes and all that, and but I used to always make time on the drive to work to do that. Say a little prayer, start the day off, and then a couple years back there was some things going on. And I kind of got away from that little, habit I would do every day. So this year I decided I'm gonna pick that back up on my drives to work. And then one is more football related. So the last couple of years, as information and clinics and football knowledge has been more readily available on the internet, through Twitter and through guys kind of starting their own business, almost doing what we're doing. They're talking ball and people are listening to them and getting ideas. I stopped reading coaching books for a couple of years, man. And I have a stack of them that I had from a couple of years that I really haven't gotten started with. And, readily available and it's super easy to watch a video and all that. But, man, I'm kind of that nerd that enjoys reading the book, that a coach wrote. And
Sean Payton's was outstanding.
Oh, my God.
I'm not a coach, so I don't read a lot of coaches' books, but Sean Payton's was.
Well, but you learn a lot of cool lessons from it that you don't get in a video of them just scribbling on the whiteboard and stuff, man. So my goal is to put a dent in that stack of books on my shelf. So
that's good. I wish I can read. I've tried. I can read.
Well,
advertisement for Karen Crowley there.
I enjoy reading though. So
and when I start reading, it's like I can finish the book, but if I'm laying down, I will wake up with the book on my chest. Like
it is something that very much can put you to sleep. Yeah, it's a very soothing
I gotta
thing.
sit in my chair or something. Like my book is on my nightstand. It's probably a bad place for it because that's the only I'll grab it and read. It's been a while though.
Well, they say it's better than scrolling before bed is to read.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
And I got Urban Meyer's book right now.
Great.
I know he was.
Is this like what to do or what to not do?
It's above the line.
It's called Above the Line.
It's a really good book. And my next one I have is it's Sooner from Lincoln Riley. Is going to be the next one I'm going to try to read.
Once again, I think you need to repick your book.
Dang, Dirk.
I got a couple good ones. I'll let you borrow, G. Don't worry.
No, my New Year's resolution, I've thought about it a couple of weeks now. Just one word, better. Just be better. Better at everything. Better a husband, better father, better coach, better man of society, better teacher. Like just be better in every aspect of my life. Just be better.
That's awesome.
That's good.
It's excellent. Excellent.
We're going to have a self-help segment led by Gaspard every week.
Maybe go Twitter Live with it or X Live.
Oh, X Live.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Elon's probably going to come after us if we keep calling it Twitter.
Yeah, we got to be careful. We don't have the money to fight him.
I don't even have the money to talk to him.
Right. For me, it was it's to do more. I have a lot of ideas, and a lot of times they just kind of get put on the table because it's a little hard to get them done now, or maybe I don't have everything I need to do them, or I'm not sure how to get it done. So it's gonna be like, let's just do it and see what's missing or what's not right, and we'll fix it next time. So
jump right in.
And I'm also reading more, and I have a coaching book I'm reading right now. It's called Winning the Mental Game. It's by Dr. Amber Selking, who was Brian Kelly's sports psychologist at Notre Dame, and she kind of invented his program that he uses at LSU now. I think Catholic high school used it as well this year. So it's something I'm just barely into it because, like him, I fall asleep as soon as I start reading. But
this isn't the book club podcast.
No, we'll be doing that soon enough. But I gotta, if I can stay awake, it seems really good. Yeah, but I wake up with the page against my nose every time. But that's not a knock on it. That's a knock on me.
It's a really good bookmark.
Yeah, your face. It's that crusty bit of drool that's on there.
Just tear that page out.
That image.
So let's jump into why we're really here now. Distractions with Dirk. Coaches have since the beginning of time have always had strong opinions on distractions, one way or the other. It's this pep rally is at an inconvenient time. I don't want the players participating in this thing because we got to play. I don't want somebody to get hurt. This thing is wasting our time. This is that, this is the other thing. So we decided, let's go to the source. Let's go to the chief of distractions and the guy who assists in planning all this on our great campus, Dirk. So just give us an intro to what you do and what's some of that, what goes into some of that.
So I think the projects I help work on, it's the perspective I come from and the group we work with is how do we give our kids a great public school experience? And to me, that has to entail a lot of other things besides just having a really good classroom experience as well. I love the PR side of it. How can we make EA look better at all times? Kind of going back to your New Year's resolution. So if there's something we can dream up and we can get it done, we're definitely going to want to do it. I also think about experiences I had in high school, which I went to EA and it was very good. But it's like, what are some things I wish they did when I was here? Or when we went to LSU, we had the student bus trip, and I got to see a game at Tennessee, Florida, and Alabama. I was like, what we're gonna do? We're gonna have an annual bus trip to the hardest one to get to for the kids. Yeah. We're gonna do a bus trip, and I started that back in 2010, and I think we had 40 kids on that bus. And then the next year we went to Denham, and we had 55. Which a bus cannot hold 55 people. It can hold 47. Mm-hmm. But everyone tells you 55 because that number just was thrown out there. So I had kids sitting on.
So we had 47 is what you're saying.
Yeah, legally.
We had 47 students on the bus.
So there were kids just piled in. But that's the first year we had an official shirt for the trip. And then we built it up. Coach, what year we went to Patterson?
Ooh,
12 or 13?
2013, I believe.
We had like 120 kids on 3 buses.
That's awesome.
It just built over the years. And
you said Patterson coach Tommy Minton just retired. Patterson legend there.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Almost as legendary as the mosquitoes in Patterson.
What was not legendary was when we stopped to eat after, and there was like a Popeyes, a Taco Bell, and I don't know, maybe a Burger King, and we just let 120 kids loose.
So as somebody from the Highway 90 region, being from Houma, you don't drive to the Tri-City, Morgan City, Berwick, Patterson. You drive through the Tri-City on the way to Lafayette.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop there. I got friends from that area, and I tell them the same thing. I'm like, ain't nobody going to Morgan City, Berwick, and Patterson. I'm sorry. It's just not happening.
It's Mardi Gras time, and I'm going to tell you the Snickerdoodle King Cake.
Oh.
At what's the name of the place? Canada's, I think.
Canada's, yes, we have in Houma.
You got my
the Canada's in Morgan City. I'm telling you.
Can we do a king cake review?
When you're driving through,
get a king cake.
Stop long enough to get you a Snickerdoodle King Cake.
Wow. All right. My apologies to the people of the Tri-Cities.
But this trip, okay, like where was I going with it? So we had the 120 day and went to Patterson. Mm-hmm. So how do y'all decide? Let's say there's 2 trips. Do y'all go to both of them?
What do you mean?
West Monroe, and Alexandria.
If there's 2 far trips.
Trips.
So normally what we do is
because West Monroe is a really good experience.
We would normally do the furthest trip, but West Monroe, the logistics of that just didn't work out. So that's why last season we did Ash, because we could do that on school buses, and we didn't have to leave school early.
Gotcha.
West Monroe's a 4-hour trip. So
and Ash was Jesus Christ, it was
hottest day in October.
It was hot,
on record.
and we got stuck on the Morganza Spillway is what you would call it?
On 190,
There was a car broke down, or maybe got in a little fender bender, and
that's true. Y'all got there mid game.
We were 2 cars behind when the cop pulled to stop so the record truck could come in, and it was hot and just traffic, and I think we got there about halfway through the first quarter, which flustered me to no end, that we weren't there on time. I can't stand that kind of stuff. When we pulled up, I didn't even park. I just opened the door, kids ran out, and then me and the other bus drivers went and we parked. So logistics have to go into it. So looking at next year's schedule, we'll probably do the Salmon game. because Slidell's a little bit easier to do. And if we have 2 or 3 buses coming back from Sam Houston and Lake Charles with 120 kids is probably a little bit harder to do. We'll probably do a Yale leader only trip to Lake Charles and do the big trip to Slidell next year.
That'd be awesome. That's gonna be a fun season
next
next year.
Yeah.
G, tell me about your favorite distractions, past or present. Don't have to be here. It could be from your high school experience. It could even be from college. Like, give me some of your favorite distractions you've been a part of.
What a birthday present for my dad when he listens to this.
Please tell this story.
No, it's not that bad.
His dad never brings it up to him. We realize he doesn't listen to these.
He listens. He tells me he listens.
Or he calls you and is like, no, I knew about that already.
But
you stole the car. I don't know.
My junior year, so over here, the Santa Monica week is Gator Week. They roll houses during Gator Week. At Carencro, we rolled during Homecoming Week. So my junior year, I'm getting my truck, pick up my buddies. We're all dressed in all black, and we got the hoods on and everything, and toilet paper's loaded in the back seat. And we start driving, and there's just a couple of us at the beginning. It's just me, my buddy, and then like 1 or 2 trucks. We roll the first couple of houses, and then we notice there's like 10 plus trucks, and they're all following me. They're like, what house is next, Gaspard? And I'm like, all right, let's go to this house. Let's go to that house. And so, Dad, I've always been a leader, even whenever probably shouldn't have been the leader. They were following me, and we ended up rolling one of the coach's house. Probably shouldn't do this, but it was there was like 15 cars with 3 plus people in every vehicle. Like we had the house rolled in like
a rolling
30
parade.
In 30 seconds, the house was rolled, and we left. Well, I ended up getting pulled over.
Oh,
somebody in the neighborhood across, they had a fight in the yard, and they thought we were a part of the fight, and they were like, "Y'all are dressed in black. Y'all got." Y'all go to Karen
you look like bank robbers.
Yeah.
Like, all right, get out of here.
Y'all go to the Crow?
Who is Karen Crow's big rival? Like
Acadiana.
Acadiana. Okay, that's what I like.
Freaking round.
So I have a question. In your quarterback manual, when it says the quarterback needs to be the most vocal and the leader of the team and all of this awesome stuff that the QB should do, is chief in charge of rolling houses one of those bullet
No,
points?
it is not.
Okay.
But I think you would want him out there because he's probably going to get a good arch on the roll.
But they probably not
Probably so, but I mean, you got to warm up the shoulder for the next night.
But, and it's like
practice.
there's not good technique. Like you got to throw the toilet paper different than throwing a football.
Because it's a little lighter, right?
It is, and then like that's like dry firing a bow. It can just shatter.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
you don't want that.
Quarterback talk with Gaspard. Hey, stay tuned for our clinic series coming up later this spring.
Clip that. I think that's the opener to your clinic season.
And then we'll release another clinic for Santa Monica Week where we're talking about how to throw TP. Some of my favorite distractions at South Terrebonne. So again, Rivalry Week, South Terrebonne versus Ellender. Quick history, Ellender used to be a junior high. It formed into a high school by taking students from South Terrebonne in the east side of Houma. South Terrebonne is just, it encompasses part of East Houma and the Bayou regions in Lower Terrebonne Parish. So our pep rallies were kind of lame back in the day. They would be in the gym at the end of lunch. We was on a block schedule, so you had about a half-hour lunch. And they would be last 15 minutes of lunch. It would be quick. Not everybody would go. Being a teacher now, I understand why they probably did it that way, because a lot less kids went, so it's a lot easier to wrangle. But Ellender was shut the whole school down at noon. You go into the big auditorium we had on campus, and you had the knockdown, drag out, pep rally of the year. And it was camo day. A lot of the guys, people hunt down there, so we have a quad between all of our buildings. There's the main building, and then there's the field house, and there's all the temporary buildings and walkways around it. And they would build a duck blind with rozos and trees and leaves and everything. We'd build a giant duck blind, and it looked like one. And it wasn't the size of a normal one you hunt out of. This was a duck blind on steroids.
And this is for Ellender playing who?
South Terrebonne.
Okay.
Yep. And the funny thing about it was, which that was all a cool experience. We'd go to relatives' houses and go into the marsh in the woods and cut all this stuff down and go build it the night before. It was so awesome. But the funny thing about it was we beat the crap out of Ellender every year. There was a stretch where Coach Curlin was at South Terrebonne for 35 years as the head coach. And from the mid-90s until I was coaching at the time, I don't know, 15, 16, Eleanor didn't beat South Terrebonne in the regular in the regular season. They squeezed out a couple jamboree wins or whatever, but never
the ones that don't count.
Yeah, never in the regular season. And I'll never forget Coach Curlin saying, this isn't really a distraction, but I'm on the story, so I might as well say it. Big old country dude from Texas. We don't feed a dog if it don't hunt. And we're like, yeah, because a lot of guys hunted, so they understood the reference. No, we do. Everybody's looking around. We shoot it. All right, let's get a gator and go in. Gator on 3. 1, 2, 3. What the hell? So we don't feed a dog
Save
if
that
it
for the
don't
coaching
hunt.
clinic.
You know what I'm saying? Also, our homecoming parade at South Terrebonne was awesome. The guys, the senior football players were on the court with the girls, and we all drove trucks, beat up pieces of crap that our dad gave us. We were thankful to have that. So, your dad would drive your truck, and you and the girl would sit in the back of the truck and throw beads as you paraded around campus. It was pretty cool.
It's like the Rose Bowl parade.
It kind of is. Cajun style. It's the Rose Bowl with a little Tony Chachere's, if I'm being honest.
Probably a lot more than just a little Tony.
So not even one Corvette in the parade?
No, God, no. I'm talking. I had
the only Chevys were Silverados.
Yes, this was 2008. I was driving a 2000 Dodge Ram, and anybody who knows anything about trucks, that's about 4 body styles ago, folks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That thing was awesome, and I'm sad I don't have it anymore.
Absolutely.
Brownfield?
Oh man, we didn't really have, and I guess that's why maybe I like them so much now. We didn't really have distractions. We didn't have a rival. We had homecoming really wasn't that big of a deal. We had a little parade and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't. I mean, we didn't have these things to look forward to. It was just the game. And there was no pageantry around the game at all either. So it was really kind of boring, especially because we weren't very good. And we had won state in the same decade and all that, but we weren't. It was a downtime, right? So when you don't have the other stuff to look to and you're not winning very much, it's like the first game we ever had when I was in high school, we lost 6-0. On a punt. It rained like 5 inches during the game, and there was a punt. We snapped the ball over the punter's head, and they fell on it in the end zone. That was the only score in the whole game. Oh, wow. So that just kind of we had 3 losing seasons out of 4 for me. But we didn't have them. So like for me, when I think back to distractions, like I think I probably enjoy them more than most because I didn't get to experience it growing up. So I know how important it is because I know what it's like to not have them. That's true. As frustrating as it can be sometimes with them, as we'll discuss, it's a lot better than not having them at all.
So he's like a child movie star that didn't have it, and now as an adult,
Yep.
So you're saying Mansfield, your high school alma mater, was good in the early 90s and then not good in the late 90s. Are all your teams like that? Cowboys?
Well, LSU was. Yeah, I saw that.
The Who Dat Nation. The Who Dat Nation.
Jumping the gun, Dirk. You're jumping it.
I love it.
I did see that coming.
And we popped Gaspard, and he don't even care about real football.
Yeah, so LSU was the opposite, of course.
Yeah,
LSU was bad early 90s and good in late 90s, but
let's say mid 90s.
Well,
late 90s.
There was was that like a sine wave?
Yeah.
Or was that? Yeah.
Shout out Kevin Falk. That was my high school coach.
That was the guy.
But it was the early 90s were much better than the late 90s for most of my teams there.
My first LSU football game in Tiger Stadium, 1995. Bring back the Magic, beat Auburn.
Oh wow,
So
12-6.
I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Troy Twilley with the interception to seal it. Yeah.
And we had great tickets from Jay Patterson. We sat like sideline. It was outstanding. I was like, this is pretty cool. And little I know is one of the best games in Tiger Stadium
Why does
history.
nobody like this?
It was one of those you sat in hours in traffic leaving Tiger Stadium kind of deal, but it was fun.
So, Dirk kind of explained the purpose of why we do what we do as far as putting on this great experience for the kids. And I know as football coaches in previous episodes, we've said a lot of what we do is to give the kids the best opportunity to be successful and give them a great experience on the sports side. So what is your interpretation or take on some of the distracting things that take place in a high school? And it doesn't not necessarily here, but just in general.
I think it really depends on where you're at. I've been at places, I've witnessed things. It's kind of like pep rallies are for cheerleaders and moms. Like you sit down and enjoy it. This is for them. The game is for you type stuff. And then you come here, it's like a culture shock and everybody's involved. Like if you're not involved, you're looked down on. So like whenever my first pep rally here was a sexy leg contest that I had to be a part of, like that was just unreal. But I think it's good to a certain extent. Like we don't need anything like Friday at 4 p.m. like right before pregame type stuff. The whole like they need a rest and everything. Like they're not gonna sleep anyway. They're gonna stay up till 1-2 o'clock either playing video games on their phone. So like, what's the big issue with having them do some type of team building, school building until 8-9 o'clock at night?
Right.
So because they're gonna be up anyway. So
the at South Lafourche, I'm gonna tell a story. Homecoming week, there was an event every night. There was one night with a bonfire, one night with this, one night with that. And Thursday was something called messy games. Like, I'm talking whipped cream, peanut butter. It like, there was one game I remember, and this is the nastiest thing I ever seen in my life, this event. But one of the games was you put peanut butter on your partner's face.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you take cheese balls and you throw cheese balls to stick to their face.
I'm writing this one down, by the way.
And the team with the most cheese balls, it's just like the game we did with the little sticky things on the bald guys' heads.
Yeah.
I'm just happy this didn't take a Varsity Blues turn.
It did not, no.
I was like, whoa.
We are a PG-rated show. And that was the boss. So I remember Coach Scaines one time saying exactly what you said. Look, homecoming is about the game. It's about alumni coming back, and they're here to watch you. All of this other stuff, man, I want you to be a kid and be part of it and have a good time doing it and attend.
Yeah.
You can attend. He said, but remember what the purpose of this week is. If they want to throw cheese balls at each other, then, man, you let them do that. But the game is for you. And that kind of stuck with me because I feel like, and I will praise Dennis Scaines to the high heavens till the day I don't do this anymore, because he was really good at finding that balance of letting kids be kids and also keeping them focused on the task at hand, because our kids were focused.
Yeah.
They attended all the events. They participated in the stuff that they were allowed to participate in. And then game day was game day.
But you don't want a starter slipping in whipped cream the night before the game.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
My dad always taught me, you don't play till work's done. So like, I guess you can kind of put that into football. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, like while we're practicing, you need to be at practice all in, and then after, okay, let's go do all the fun things.
And like over here we do, we have this, every school has some similar stuff, some similarities. Like for us, Ellender Week, we didn't roll houses, but we stayed out most of the night collecting Rozos and stuff to build the blind.
Right.
The few nights leading up. Here it's TP and houses. For you, it was TP and houses. What about that kind of stuff, man? Because think about it as a coach. And even as the person who helps put on the school-sponsored events, we don't sponsor the toilet paper in houses.
No, that's not officially sponsored, right? Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, how do we keep the kids in line when they're technically out of our jurisdiction? They go home for the night. They're out of our control. We lectured them as much as we could. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. But when they get home, mom lets them do it. So how does that look as a member of the school community who's trying to get these kids to accomplish something, whether it's a game or just be ready for whatever duty they have the night of the game?
I I guess for y'all, it's a matter of
trust that y'all have to have with y'all players on, hey, we've preached this, we expect this. I would say for the other kids, let loose.
Let them go, baby.
Let loose. As long as they're not destroying someone's property or injuring someone, which I think for the most part they stick to. I think from the regular kid's point of view, I think it's just go for it. But I can see from the athlete, I can see the stress from y'all point of view of how do we make sure they're not out all night and tired by the end of the week, or they go roll an ankle because they're running through somebody's yard at 11 o'clock.
And I kind of look at it as, I try to think of, let kids be kids. Let's just hope their parents have enough line on them to where they could reel them in. All right, hey, you're coming back by 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because I just think the way I was brought up, and not everybody is brought up the same way, I'm just like, if that would have been a thing, my mom and dad would have been like, all right, 9, bro, and you're back at the house. All right.
And I think as coaches, like, I don't know, and y'all can disagree, the more you take, the more they're going to try to do.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I was the quarterbacks coach, so whenever I'd have meetings with the quarterbacks about it, like during Gator Week, I'd say, look, like, go have fun Monday and Tuesday, but like by Wednesday, let's try to start tuning it down, because the more you go, there's more chance of injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like, so Monday and Tuesday, go have all the fun you want. But then when it comes to Wednesday and Thursday, let's just try to tone it down, try to get in at a decent time, just to where at least you're home and you're not out like with the chance of getting hurt.
So what about pep rallies? How y'all feel about pep rallies? Relatively harmless. There's no rolling. There's no running around.
The most universal distraction, probably. Throughout the country.
Every traditional high school is going to have a pep rally.
I would say, what about pep rallies? Are pep rallies just for cheerleaders and moms, or
if you're gonna have them, go all out.
Do them right.
Like do it the right way. Don't just bring in anybody there to do the like just clapping and swaying. Like, no, go all out. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Don't bring me and 100 other football players into this gym if this thing is gonna be lame, right?
Like, I don't want to go sit and sweat.
But tell me
just
this.
Listen to the band.
Tell me this.
Right?
In the grand scheme,
our band's great. By the way.
Grand scheme of things, is it a distraction, or is there any difference of dealing with the player on Friday afternoon after a pep rally versus an afternoon where you didn't have a pep rally?
I think that's on the coaches, because with like after pep rallies, like especially if it's a home game, I think that's when we usually do pep rallies. Anyway,
It usually falls with the home game.
So like there's time for them to go lay down and take a nap and rest. Like, so they're like, yeah, they can go have fun, but then hey, like when the lights are out, like you need to be off your feet, laying down, relaxing, getting your mind right, ready for the game. So
I love pep rallies. I don't think they're a distraction at all, because for a lot of reasons you said, it's about the coach and the coaches and the culture and I hate the word culture, it's such a buzzword in our sport, but it's about that atmosphere they create. If there's an understanding and you've taught it and modeled it, and look at me being a teacher, you know what I'm saying? If you've taught it and gotten that point across and shown them the right way, you could have a lot of fun and then lock in, like you're saying. I don't see an issue. I really don't, because I think largely the pep rally is not just for the dance team and the moms. I think people enjoy seeing the football players pumped up at this event. If you were just a stone cold, just looking like you're not having no fun football player, I don't think that gives off a good message. And
no.
I'll even say this as a coach, everybody's got a different style, and out there, if you think this way and you disagree with me, cool. That's part of what we do. Everybody's gonna have a different style. But I would hate, and I still hate, seeing that coach in the corner just just the uninterested face. And I mean, look, I'm not asking you to go participate at half court, but at least clap with the band and just kind of be part of it. Be part of the spirit contest at the end. Just do something to show that you are entertained by this too, because I think that helps draw your fan support in. Because here's the thing, nobody else plays football except football people. Mm-hmm. So if you show as a coach and as a team and as a player, you're interested in the thing that they're having fun with, then guess what? They may be more inclined to reciprocate that come game time.
Bingo.
And I used to joke with the yell leaders. I'm like, I'm going to beat the drum when we beat this team. Because, that wasn't because I want them to like me, but it's like, to me, I think stuff like that is fun, and I think
you get buy-in from everybody.
And they look forward to it. They're like, all right, so they enjoy what we're doing. Like,
and
like
there's a rapport building. Don't just build rapport with your team, build rapport with everyone.
Yes.
Because those are the people that are going to be in your stands Friday night that you want going wild.
But like,
absolutely.
It's crazy. Like yesterday, we talked about being authentic. Like, who's to say, like, we have these boring pep rallies and then we slip into the state championship and we want to have a fun one. Like, nobody's going to know what that looks like.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
You can't, like, you're used to the boring
yeah.
ones. So, like, why not just go out on all of them? That way, when the state champ, like, you can amp it up a lot more and people, like, already know what it's like to have fun.
Yeah. You thought that last one was fun.
Yeah.
We about to,
you got to practice fun.
Yes, you do.
No, you do. So I'll tell you another Skane story, and I know he don't listen, but I love him. I'm gonna send him this clip though. Practicing fun before every season at our final walkthrough before like a jamboree or a fall scrimmage, we would practice the pregame routine, not just the go and do your individual with your coaches. We would practice the hype up and go get rowdy at midfield. One time we planned something where like we had this receiver, he was all swagged out. He had the towel and he would point at this group and they would say something, point at that group. It was a whole production. But we practiced that on Thursday in front of nobody. Skane's is like,
that's got to be hard to do.
Well, it's like, we want this to look cool. We're going to practice it. Yeah. So that's awesome. What we did. You practice fun. Like that's a real thing. You practice having fun.
Did y'all practice like running out the tunnel or whatever?
We did not. We didn't.
I don't know. Is that something you'd have to do?
No. So the tunnel. Your first little line that I gave you was the keeper of the inflatable tunnel.
Hey, that thing can get very frustrating at times.
So I see a lot with coaches. I'm on this message board, CoachHuey.com, and they're like, man, these inflatable tunnels, they're just these crusty old clowns, dude. They're like, these inflatable tunnels and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Especially ours.
Ours is huge. Ours is huge.
I mean, it's a Spartan and a horse and it's a whole thing.
Which brings me to that. So, like, pregame, everybody thinks there's distractions pregame. There are distractions, but if the players are locked in enough, like, the distraction should just be for the fans at that point.
Right.
Like, the players shouldn't see the fireworks and like they should, they got to run through the smoke, but like they should be, like their focus should be on the game. Like, I got to get to the sideline and get ready for the game. All the smoke and fire shows and all that's like for the fans to see the kids coming out of.
There's entertainment value in all of that, especially on game day.
So on a night where we have the Hall and Wall of Fame, y'all got to get off the field earlier. Is that a big deal?
We just have to plan accordingly.
But overall, that's not a big deal.
No.
It's not really.
This year when we did Glenn Dorsey right before kickoff, is that a big distraction?
Not really, because
You're about to start the game.
Yeah, we're about to start the game.
Yeah,
we're already warmed up.
And the only thing is with the Hall and Wall of Fame or the senior night and that sort of thing, you plan accordingly so you get all your pregame stuff in, so you're not missing anything. Just the only, I guess, slight negative of that is you're just kind of have guys sitting around longer after the warm up.
Yeah.
So, but that's really, to me, that's kind of small potatoes in the grand scheme of things, because all that other stuff to me is super important.
Right.
But I see we got 10 minutes left. I kind of want to tell a quick story. We talked about the tunnel. This season, Dirk, me and you had a conversation. You came up to me. It was before the fall scrimmage, and it was at home. Like, Coach, do you think it would be a big deal if we practiced putting up the tunnel? Because I need to get the yell leaders. They need to understand.
The new people need to learn.
Yeah, you need to learn how to set it up, take it down, pack it up, do all the things, get all these logistics done. And he said, do you think, our head coach would have an issue with that? So me and my assistant coach Brain was like, just thinking distractions, thinking about personalities and things like that. I'm like, I'm just going to make this executive decision and say, set that bad boy up. if somebody gets mad, I'll take the heat. Because I understand where you were coming from. Like, I would want to practice because again, there's an entertainment value, especially on game night for the fans and the community, of having that big awesome looking thing there. So you want that to go seamless.
A grand fear on our side is you go to blow it up and it doesn't blow up right. And it looks all and you got Zachary sitting in your stadium. Or when you go to take it down, it gets hung up on the goalpost. And again, to me, we can't have those kind of snafus.
Because the schools we play are masters of production. So they don't have those snafus. So we don't want to look stupid either.
And let's face it, guys, when you know, if that happens right before a game, it can't help but have an impact on the emotional state.
Yeah,
of the players.
it looks.
I'll tell y'all a quick story about, and it just hit me. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, because this is like the ultimate version of this. But we were playing our arch rival, Santamon, in 2010, and it was at Santamon. And we had a Marine colonel do our pregame speech, and we were in the middle school gym, and it was an incredible speech. It was the best I'd ever heard pregame. We had the entire team in full pads and everything on the half court logo of the gym. You know, like we were all like, half of our feet weren't even on the floor. You know, we were so tight, and it was incredible. And we came running out of I was running, and I don't run much, but you know, we came running out of the gym, and we run, you know, through our end zone. And as soon as we do that, the cannon goes off. And you ever played a game in Santamon, you know the cannon. And the cannon goes off, and this sea of orange jerseys runs out, and nobody had ever seen them before.
Game was over.
And I remember that I stopped running, and my head was turned 90 degrees at them, and like I could feel the energy leaving my body, and I knew right then, I was like, if I'm reacting this way, these 16-year-old kids are done. And sure enough, it was 31-3 before you knew it.
Yeah,
you know,
my phone was blowing up from my Santamon friends.
So pregame, that's like that last. If you can get that last little edge in there pregame, you know, with the distraction, or if you're trying to do something and it fails, like we also had a Spartan on a horse who fell off. That was Santamon too.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing stuff.
So there's entertainment value and intimidation factor for the opposite team, because there's 16 over there. Coaches like to have a saying that's like, well, I'm not trying to beat the other coach. I'm trying to make the 16-year-old on the sideline think he's not doing it right. Some kind of way.
You know, you run a blitz, and there's risk with that blitz. You might have man coverage against somebody who's pretty good. I mean, same way with distractions. If you have a pregame distraction there's a risk there that it backfires, and then there's no emotional recovery from that.
Like, remember the Titans whenever they got their new warm-up routine.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, shut them up.
I'm going to suggest that we practice setting up the inflatable tunnel at one of our walkthroughs this year. Okay. I'm gonna go talk to some people and try to pull those strings for us.
That's a great way to tie in to the next segue. Is how do we work together? Like, as far as the distractions coordinator to the coaches, like, is it some type of communication? Like, how do we work together?
I think the biggest thing that we need to do, you know, we're gonna always dream up some pretty big things. I think our biggest thing is we need to go to you and say what we want to do, and as long as you're reasonable about understanding the school spirit and involving all the kids, I think we got to respect when we get a no from you on, I don't want my player in the pep rally, or no, I don't want them doing this. You know, when we're doing Glenn Dorsey Day or whatever, is it okay if it goes right before the game? Yeah, because we want everybody to see that. We want every fan in the stand. Mm-hmm. We want as much attention on that as possible, and you're going to get that right at kickoff. If you do that at 6:45,
people are still funneling.
People are still funneling in. They're getting their nachos and stuff. So I think it's the best thing is going up front with the coach, talking to them, and getting y'all got to give a little bit, and we'll give a little bit, because our side, we're going to ask for everything.
Is that how far in advance do y'all plan? Like, is this a preseason thing that y'all plan throughout for the entire season?
Big things like that, like Glenn Dorsey thing was 5 minutes, took a year to plan. Yeah. It really did, of getting him in and how we're going to do this and what does it look like, and getting those former coaches in and stuff. That yellow tarp we had covering it. I lost a year of my life trying to figure, like me trying to do logistics of how we're going to do this. And I want it to be this perfect unveil of when coaches reading it upstairs. And luckily all that worked out. But we had probably 20 different ideas of how to hang that yellow tarp up there. where it looked like, oh, they just put a yellow tarp up there. So those kind of things take a really long time.
That's a big moment, the unveiling of the banner.
Yeah, and
right?
you want that right.
Yeah.
And, I guess if you're a college or a pro team, you got way more equipment and stuff where, high school pulling that off is a little different.
2
sticks.
Good morning, teachers. We're so happy to have you on campus.
Excuse the interruption.
Yeah.
Distractions.
Distractions.
Yeah,
That's what you do here.
Teacher, key, work keys. Everybody should be making their way Spartan armor. Everybody should be.
I guess that means it's
Time for
Time to take it home.
I spit in the face there is some coffee made in the freshman academy building, and there are donuts in the cafeteria.
Who's getting cranked up?
Think out, crank us up.
Let's go.
So
again in the cafeteria with
that thing is distracting me right now.
That's tough, huh? That's tough.
It's the boss lady that we got to let it go.
So my list, we just had the national championship game on TV, and I'm very in tune with, I follow strangers on Twitter who are coaches and all of this stuff, and great place to share ideas. But man, when the natty comes around and I see these guys are sharing clips of the game, they pause their DVR and they're taking pictures of, you could tell they took pictures of their TV screen and they're trying to analyze, they ran this and they ran that blitz and it's called this and Saban calls it that. And especially when Saban and Kirby are playing in the game, it's even worse because you could find all their materials very readily online because they're always they speak everywhere. They're so good. They're always in the thick of things. So their materials are readily available. People are just throwing out Sabanisms and this is what this blitz is called and this covered, and people are arguing with each other. And I'm like, good God, I love the gurus who probably couldn't even understand probably one fraction of that going on X and trying to look like they're smart. And look, I'm sure there's some smart coaches, but I'm like, dude, just enjoy the game. Stop pausing your DVR and trying to analyze whether it's duo or inside zone. Jeez.
I saw that one.
I was like, this is getting ridiculous. But yes, guru Twitter coaches, or excuse me, guru X coaches, you made the list.
They're on the list.
It was duo.
I believe it was.
It was.
I believe it was too.
No, my list is people who live in the past.
Ooh.
So kind of like a Cowboys fan. I mean, or a 2019 Saints fan, or a Chicago Cubs fan. No,
It was 2018. Thank you.
it was the 2019 Super Bowl, though, right?
You're right.
Yeah. So, sorry. Okay, kind of got the dates.
It was pass interference.
It was.
Here we go.
I was watching that game in New Orleans, and it was the greatest vibe. And when that no call happened, it was like a funeral for the entire city. It was
robbed
it
us.
was weird. It was weird. Yeah,
robbed.
never forget.
I've had this quote since high school: "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow." Like you can't live for yesterday. You learn from it, and then you live for today. Like you're not promised tomorrow, so you hope for it. Like I hope I get tomorrow to do or learn from yesterday. So learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. Stop living in the past. Like what's done is done. New chapters, new excitements, it's all new. Each day is a new opportunity. So stop living from yesterday.
Awesome. Brownfield?
All right.
Another one.
Yeah. I think we very well may get some snow next week, guys. Just wanted to throw
How
it
about
out
that
there.
Kansas City game? It's going to be like 1 degree.
Yes.
Welcome, Miami. All right. So for me, we're speaking NFL. I'm going to go very quickly on this because there's not. I mean, it is what it is. Jamus Winston has made the list.
Yes.
Should be. I would say the cut list. Because and here's why.
Hey-o.
Here's why. Even if he was right, even if what he did was the right thing to do for the organization, that means that your head coach is no longer the leader of the organization. So he's got to go. So either he has to go or Dennis Allen has to go. But you can't have players vetoing head coaches' decisions on the field. And, I'm just surprised how many people were okay with that. And I know it's the Falcons, rivalry, distraction, all that kind of stuff. But come on.
But like you're on a pedestal where kids watch you.
Right.
So like if you're doing it, what is that showing the kids? Like use your pedestal the right way. I don't think that was the right way.
And then went into the post-game interview and justified it.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't try to maybe kind of cover it up or.
Well,
Yeah.
and then he was like,
time.
well, then you're disagreeing with the whole team, where only 11 people were in that huddle.
Yeah,
I
wasn't
the
aware.
whole team.
I wasn't aware the team was a democracy either.
Yeah, like
I don't know of any successful teams that are.
Nope. Dirk?
All right, mine's gonna be a little different, but it is.
Shake.
But it is very much a distraction. And as football season winds down, I would like to add to the list basketball courts with too much stuff going on.
Yep.
I can't.
Okay, yes.
Yep.
I am somebody that it takes me a while to adjust, and the NBA with all these new courts throw me off. I cannot watch a game at Oregon with all the trees. Oh my goodness!
The city. Which one has the city? Like,
oh, they all have cities now,
Like,
and they're so distracting. I want as clean of a court as possible. I mean, Coach knows if LSU changes up their uniform, I'm emotional. I mean, if I go to the stadium and I don't know they're wearing white hats, white shirt, and white pants, it's going to take me 2 quarters to mentally adjust.
Yeah.
So a basketball court that I have, those NBA in-season courts that they were like all purple, I couldn't do it.
That's ridiculous. Yep.
Distracting basketball courts, you're on the list.
Thank you.
Give me the old parquet floor at the old Boston Garden.
I want your logo. I want your logo to fit in the circle.
In the circle. Your logo has to be circular, or else. It's,
Hey, I wanted like Chicago with the basketball behind
Yes,
it too.
yes.
The orange basketball. Brownfield, give me the gong. That's right. So thank you guys for joining episode 6, first one of the new year.
Happy
I am
New Year.
Scott.
Thank you for having me
Impel.
in.
I'm
G.
Coach Gaspard. We got Coach Brownfield.
that's right. That's me.
And the distractionist.
And the distractionist. Guys, we will see you next week. The topic is to be announced. Grab some more caffeine. We got meetings because that's part of being a coach and a teacher. But until then, we are out.
Nice. Oh.